Alright, what's up y'all? What's up? So, like as promised, I told you guys I was gonna drop a video going over my breakdown of how I was able to get that first 11K day in the market when it comes to trading. For those that don't know, my name is Abe Shaw. Been trading for about 3 years now in the market, right? And then when I first started off, I was trading GU, but I started learning my way with the indices. So specifically SPS 500, NAS 100, Germany 30. Those are the sole pairs I typically trade throughout the week, alongside of like a few currency pairs. But for the most part, I trade indices. And if you don't follow me already, go check me out on Instagram at _Abe Shaw. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this breakdown, man. Oh, this trade was so beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide these. So one gem I'm gonna give y'all for when it comes to SPS. If you're in my academy video, you're already gonna learn this. You already know specifically how I trade SPS. But for those that don't know, during the York session or at the start of the York session, you may see that SPS is always in a zone. It's always in consolidation. So whenever it's in a zone, which is where you see this box right here, whenever it's in consolidation, whenever it's in a zone, the only thing I look for when I'm taking these trades. This is one way I trade it, but the only thing that I'm looking for when I take this trade is I'm waiting for it to break out of the zone. The moment that SPS breaks out of the zone is the moment it's going to get ready to take off and the trend that it wants to actually go in. And as you can see, it wanted to go for an uptrend for to start the week off, to end the week off, and overall basically really for the whole week, right? So as you can see right here is my blue line. This is where I entered at. I entered at 42.90. So I was like, all right, once it breaks 42.90, I know that's a good entry point to call out. I actually put that in my Signals chat, so everybody in the Signals chat was able to catch the move with me as well. And then from there, obviously all 3 to 4 TPs were already smacked, but I decided to hold it until I got to a comfortable amount of money that I wanted to like close out and profit at, which ultimately led to me closing out at 11K, right? So it was about 2,500. No, what was it? I think it was about a good balance. So it was like about 4,000 I caught off of SPS 500, and then the rest I caught off of Germany 30 as well. So Germany 30, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. I entered Germany 30 around the same price of 152.60. This is the area that I got in as well. So this one is a little bit more choppy, but if you understand pullbacks and you understand lower highs and understand which direction that the market is going in, aka it was going in the uptrend, right? That's how I was able to call that trade on Germany 30. Yes, I use other indicators as well, but if you want access to that, you gotta join the academy to actually learn a strategy I use for that. But when it came to trading this, another gem I'm gonna give y'all. During the York session, for the most part, all indices typically move the same, right? So SPS 500 and NAS 100, as you can see, when we flip between these two charts, they look exactly identical. So this is NAS 100 chart. It was an uptrend, it's starting to reverse. This is the SPS 500 chart. It was in the uptrend, then it starts to reverse. Like to a T. The candle and all the same, identical candle, the same wick, and the same candle is getting ready to push down. So if you're looking for two pairs that move like dang near directly and correlate to each other, SPS 500 and NAS 100 move exactly the same. Now when it comes to Germany 30, how I knew SPS 500 and Germany 30 was going to be the same is because of my indicator that I have for London session. During London session, it was telling me that it was already getting ready, like looking for a sell for a buy, right? And I already knew SPS 500 was looking for a buy during the New York session. So once this broke out and I started seeing more momentum for SPS 500 and NAS 100, I knew like, okay, bet I could hop in that same trade with Germany 30. I started noticing like, all right, it broke out of that zone. We got a large rejection right here, and then that next candle, it took right back up. So I was already in this trade already during London session. I'm not gonna lie. I TP'd on it once it, actually I didn't TP, it hit my trailing stop loss, right? So my stop loss was up here. But I'm like, alright, bet. It came right back to my entry point from London session. This is where I entered that during London session. I was like, okay, bet. If it closed here, we good. So I'm gonna actually go down and drop down to the 15 minute. Let me show y'all, where was it? So right here. Once it closed back here, and I started seeing this candle starting to push up, it was really this candle that really initiated my like, okay, bet it's really about to go back on the uptrend. But this one right here was the one that confirmed it. And right, it was like my actual entry point was 152.60, and I think I actually like edit that on the screen so I can see exactly where I entered at. I know I had like a couple entry points that day. It was like 152.60, 15. I think, oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 238, 15260. So those, both of those are my entry points, and then you'll see the retest entry point as well once I drop it on this video. But ultimately, like, once you understand indices, like if you're someone that's getting into indices and you want to learn more about it, right? Understand that the top 3 indices move exactly the same. I'm gonna give y'all my gems. So New York session, I typically only trade SPS 500 and NAS 100. London session is when I really trade Germany 30 heavy. For the most part, I usually don't even trade Germany 30 during New York session because sometimes it could be wishy-washy. But the only reason why I took it last week was because, alright, I was already in that entry point during New York session. I mean, during London session. So when New York session came and it came back to retest my entry point and took back off, I'm like, okay, bet. The momentum is here. It's starting to take off for the uptrend. And that's exactly what happened. Now, even though I did have an 11K day, I could have swing traded this for the long run. Like, the only reason why I closed is because I know in the past, I wanted to make sure I was disciplined this time. I wanted to make sure, hey, this is a potential area that it could reverse and continue to go back for the overall downtrend. Like when I looked at the 4 hour, I'm like, okay, this is an area that it could reverse at, right? I don't mind this. This is like my analysis from last week, so I'm gonna just delete that. But I was looking at, hey, typically this is an area that it could potentially reverse. So instead of me trying to be greedy and catch more than 11K, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just secure my profit. I'm satisfied with this. I don't want to risk too much. I don't want to lose no money because I'm satisfied. Like, what's the point of me posting about me having an 11K day if I don't actually close out with 11K, right? So I actually wanted to make sure I closed out and TP and secured all my pros. So that way going into next week, we're going to double it again and go crazy even more, right? But had I not, even though I was up 11K on that one day between SPS and Germany 30, I could have potentially made, off of this whole swing, I probably could have made probably 20K. 20K to 25K, right? 6,000 probably would have came from SPS alone, right? I was in the 0.25s and 0.50s. Actually, I was in 2.50s really. So yeah, 6,000, 5,000 could have came from SPS alone. Dang near probably 10,000 alone could have came from SPS. I'm not even gonna get started on how much I could have made off of Germany 30 because I was sick thinking about it. But I would rather be disciplined every single time versus me getting greedy, because I know in the past when I first started out trading, when I was being greedy, it didn't work out in my favor. I started blowing accounts. I started losing money when I could have had a higher reward compared to like what I made when I finally decided to close out. So I'm not gonna make this video long. Just gave you a few little gems that you can use that might be able to help you. If you want access to my Silence chat, the links will be provided below on this video, as well as if you want to get started with my academy, you can meet me there as well.